62.8% of Americans, including infants and pregnant women, drink fluoridated tap water every single day without ever giving consent. How comfortable are you knowing that decision was made for you 3 generations ago? Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're examining why fluoridation, the 1940s policy once hailed as a dental breakthrough, now looks more like an outdated public health gamble with serious neurological costs.
I'm Alara Sky. Together, we'll explore new research showing fluoride's link to lower IQ, detail how lobbyists derail local efforts to end fluoridation, and outline specific steps you can take right now to reduce exposure and advocate for change in your own community.
Let's start with the numbers. According to the CDC, 72.3% of residents on community water systems, roughly 62.8% of the entire U.S. population, receive fluoridated water. Yet countries such as Germany, Sweden, and the Netherlands achieve comparable cavity rates without dosing everyone's drinking water.
That global comparison matters because mounting data reveal only minimal dental benefit from ingesting fluoride, while the neurological risks are no longer speculative. A 2023 meta-analysis of more than 12,000 children found an average 5.6-point IQ drop among those with higher fluoride exposure, with deficits emerging at levels previously labeled safe.
The National Toxicology Program's 2024 review echoed that warning, concluding, with moderate confidence, that fluoride at or near the current U.S. target of 0.7 milligrams per liter impairs cognitive performance in children. The harm occurs in utero and during early childhood, when brain tissue is most vulnerable and damage becomes permanent.
That permanent loss isn't limited to intelligence scores. Prenatal fluoride exposure disrupts thyroid hormones crucial for brain growth and is linked to higher rates of ADHD-related behaviors. A 2024 study in environmental health added kidney, liver, and blood protein impacts to the list of developmental concerns.
Against that backdrop, consider Washburn, North Dakota, a town of 1,300 that voted 4-1 in 2025 to stop adding fluoride after months of public discussion. Almost overnight, commissioners were flooded with identical letters from out-of-state dental groups urging reversal. Those letters traced back to templates supplied by fluoride advocacy organizations.
Public records requests revealed why the messaging was so coordinated. Emails showed North Dakota's oral health program, funded by $780,800 in CDC and HRSA grants that explicitly prohibit lobbying, reimbursed a fluoride advocate's travel to confront Washburn officials. Internal messages urged him to flatten them like a pancake, turning what should have been neutral public health guidance into an orchestrated pressure campaign.
Those tactics weren't isolated. In Grand Forks, officials received the same copy and paste letters before a fluoridation vote. In McVille, a prior decision to end fluoride was reversed after outside activists arrived, pressuring council members face to face. Commissioner Keith Hapip has now filed a formal complaint, alleging misuse of federal funds and suppression of local authority.
The pattern is textbook astroturfing. A group with money and influence masquerades as grassroots support, drowning out authentic community voices. When Hapip emailed dentists for their perspectives on fluoride's neurotoxicity, none responded. Internal messages show they were advised to stay silent and shift to personal email accounts to avoid further scrutiny.
All of this raises a fundamental question about public health ethics. Even if fluoride reduced cavities, a benefit now largely credited to topical contact, it remains a medication delivered without dosage control, individualized risk assessment, or informed consent. As Dr. Mercola notes, no other drug would be administered in that way.
And fluoride's risks aren't limited to the brain. Chronic intake leads to skeletal fluorosis, a condition in which fluoride accumulates in bone, stiffening joints and hardening ligaments. Long-term exposure also alters calcium metabolism, increasing hip and wrist fracture rates, and disrupts endocrine function, affecting insulin sensitivity and sleep-regulating melatonin.
A 2022 study added muscle atrophy to the list, linking prolonged fluoride exposure to breakdown of key proteins through pathways associated with muscle wasting. When you add organ system damage to irreversible cognitive loss, fluoridation looks less like a preventive measure and more like a public health trade-off we can't afford.
Yet most residents never revisit the policy because it's been on autopilot since the 1940s. Officials often assume silence equals approval. Washburn's story proves that people do question fluoridation once they learn the current science and see how aggressively outside interests defend the status quo.
You have a right to know exactly what's in your water and how it affects you. Start by requesting the latest water quality report from your municipal utility. Verifies whether fluoride is added, and ask for written documentation of target levels, monitoring frequency, and any outside funding or guidance influencing policy.
If fluoride is present, urge a formal review. Request open hearings where updated peer-reviewed studies, like the 2023 meta-analysis and the 2024 NTP findings, are entered into the public record. Insist on diverse expert testimony, not just representatives affiliated with dental or lobbying groups.
Freedom of Information Act requests are powerful tools. They exposed Washburn's behind-the-scenes coordination and can do the same in your town. Remember, those emails existed only because a local commissioner asked for them. Transparency is a right, not a favor.
Now, let's shift to practical steps you can take at home, starting today, to minimize fluoride exposure while broader policy debates play out. First, install a comprehensive water filtration system, either reverse osmosis or advanced carbon paired with bone char. Pitcher filters and standard softeners do not remove fluoride.
Second, if you prepare infant formula, always use fluoride-free water. Babies fed formula mixed with fluoridated tap water ingest far more fluoride than breastfed infants, placing their developing brains at elevated risk.
Third, choose fluoride-free toothpaste and oral care products. Read labels carefully. Many conventional brands also contain triclosan, sodium lauryl sulfate, parabens, and microbeads. A simple alternative. Blend organic coconut oil, baking soda, a pinch of Himalayan salt, and a drop of peppermint oil for freshness.
Fourth, monitor hidden fluoride in your diet. Processed foods and drinks manufactured with fluoridated water often carry the chemical into your pantry. Tea leaves naturally accumulate fluoride. Switching from black or green to white tea lowers your intake.
Fifth, engage locally. Attend council meetings, circulate peer-reviewed studies to neighbors, and speak during public comment periods. Washburn proved that small communities can resist powerful lobbying when residents present clear evidence and demand accountability.
Before we close, let's address common questions quickly. Why was fluoride added? Early studies in the 1940s suggested systemic intake lowered cavities. Current evidence shows topical application works. Ingestion mainly delivers risk. Do other developed nations fluoridate? Most do not, citing ethical and safety concerns. Can you filter fluoride? Yes, with systems designed specifically for it, reverse osmosis or bone char carbon.
That leads to your challenge. Today, request your town's water quality report, confirm fluoride levels, and write one concise email to a local official asking for a public review of updated science on fluoride's neurological effects. One documented request can open the door to broader community action.
Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.